Hello. I am so excited to get a chance to chat with you all through this video. This is a mini workshop that is being added to quite a few other mini workshops for our virtual open house originally. So if you're here for the first time during our virtual open house, thank you for joining us. I am Jessica Griffioen. I am a therapist and holistic family coach here at Portage Family Healing Center. I do in-person services here at our Portage, Michigan location, as well as virtual services for families. So what I wanted to do today was just give an overview of what is family communication? What does that look like? What are the benefits of family communication? And well, we'll see if this will move forward for me. Let's see. All right, as always, a little technical difficulties, but here is what we're going to chat about today is what are the goals of this mini workshop on family communication? It's why. Why do we talk about this? Why is this a thing? What's the benefit of better or increased family communication? How to improve, and then some activities for you to try at home with your family. Okay, so here's the why. Ask yourself these questions right now. In your family, are you playing the mind reading game? Whether it's you asking your kids to do something in your head, expecting them to do something, and then it not happening, or your kids expecting that you know exactly what they need on a moment's notice, or why they're not going to get their homework done in time, or why they're sad or happy or mad or scared. Is mind reading working for your family? Because I can guarantee you it doesn't work for mine. And if it works for yours, next workshop you're hosting, and you're going to tell us how that happens. But really, how many times a day are you having arguments in your home? Maybe it doesn't include you, but maybe it's the kids, or maybe it's your spouse and kids. The balance is just not there in your home. Do you find yourself getting frustrated with the kids' emotions because you don't know how to help them? Now, that's common. If we have somebody who is maybe overstimulated and upset or angry and throwing things, the behaviors are happening, and we don't know how to help them, then frustration sets in. So, if we can increase the family communication, here are some of the benefits. We have a better understanding. Yeah, we're not mind reading anymore. If we communicate effectively, we can understand where somebody else is coming from. We don't have to guess. We don't have to guess that when that person accidentally hit me with a basketball, that they were intentionally doing it because they did something wrong. Better understanding will come from these increased family communication, reduce conflicts. You see how right there, I could have got very angry at somebody for hitting me with a basketball. If there was communication and understanding that it wasn't intentional, then there's going to be a reduced conflict. It's just going to happen. If there's better communication, we're not going to be fighting. There might be healthy disagreements, right, that might not escalate. We will also have increased trust, right? Because if we're communicating openly and honestly, we're going to trust each other more. That, of course, leads to building stronger relationships and a better bond between you and your children and your family as a whole. So, number 4, enjoyable relationships. How about that? Enjoying spending time together. Now, some of you that are listening are like, that's far-fetched. Okay? Because there's a lot of overwhelm, there's lack of communication, there's a lot of behaviors happening, and there's a lot of feelings, and that's understandable. But understand that increased family communication, you're going to get to the point of enjoyable relationships because you get to spend more time together, and that's a good thing. There's better communication during that time. Okay, so what is your family dream? Is it having that fun quality time together? Is it being able to enjoy the time together? Less arguing, more peace. Is peace a word in your household right now? How about strong relationships? And yeah, that withstand the teenage years. Whoa. But here's the thing is if you have kids that are younger than the teen years right now, now is your time to build that foundation. If you have kids that are within the teen years right now, now is the time to get working on the communication. Okay. So whether you're doing this when they are young or you have teenagers who you have lost touch with, this will help. Let's increase some communication. And number 4, more joy. Who does not want more peace and joy in their home? So ask yourself this, what is your family dream? Maybe it's not these 4, maybe there's different words that you have for this. But what is it? What does the dream look like? Let's take some time with your spouse and really think like, what are the goals in our household? Where do we want to be? And then what are the things that we can do to get there? And I can guarantee you that family communication is going to be one of the top. So how do we improve our family communication? Now, these are going to seem maybe simple, very just a few words here. It's things that we probably think, okay, yeah, I can do that. It's going to be harder to put into action. Making time for each other. That's one of the top ones, right? We just need time. Well, how easy is it to get caught up in sports schedules, in school, in work, in overtime, in homework, in peer relationships? If we're talking about teens, they start to lean towards their peers more than their parents, right? So number 1 is you're making time for each other, whether you are carving time out in your calendar. Let's schedule it in. Let's put a mark on it. Make time for each other. Okay. So you got some examples there of going out or eating dinner together, going for walks. If you're in our area in the Midwest, we're finally getting warm weather right now. So yes, let's go for walks. Now, there's one thing to have the time together. And then this next step says, listen actively. So we're not just holding space, like we're not just literally holding physical space. We are listening to what the person says. And if you're struggling to do that, a tip that I would like to add in here is repeat it back. Summarize what they just said to make sure that you heard them right. Okay. So if your child comes to you and says, "Oh, the bus ride was so bad. Everybody was yelling, and I just wanted to get off the bus, and so was throwing this and this," and what you say is, "Oh, wow, I'm hearing you say that that was a really tough bus ride," or "Wow, what I heard you say was that bus ride was wild. There's a lot of things going on." Okay. If I am repeating back what my child just said to me, then I am hearing it. I am actively listening. Be respectful. Okay. Here is where we curb the escalation to our arguments. Be respectful. Yes, we can disagree with each other. And yes, we will disagree with each other, but let's be respectful and understanding or hearing their point of view. Right? No name calling, no insults, no aggression, no physical aggression. We're respectfully listening. Because in turn, what we hope is that the other person is going to respectfully listen to us too. And be honest. Honesty is definitely one of the most important steps. This is where you build the trust, build the relationships. However, of course, as parents, we know there are some things that we need to be careful when sharing, maybe with our younger children. So you know your child's capacity. Make sure that you're communicating this in a healthy way. So if you're upset, you're frustrated, we're not going to, again, we're being respectful, but we're also being age appropriate. So make sure that what you're sharing is age appropriate for your child. Avoid distractions. Okay. This is in the yellow box at the bottom here for a reason. This one is another easy one to get caught up. First, we're caught up in our busy calendar, but we're also caught up in our distractions. How many people are in their home right now and there is some other noise going on? Maybe you're watching this and you've got a movie set up so you can watch this workshop. Maybe you're sitting here, and since I've started talking just a few minutes ago, your phone has gone off multiple times. There are constantly distractions that we could get sucked into, and we need to really focus when we're wanting to listen to somebody. So how about some activities to put this into practice? All this information doesn't mean anything if we don't put it into practice. So number one, how about set that intentional time for a weekly family meeting? This depends on the age of your kids. If we've got some of you that maybe you're being proactive and you've got a couple babies, toddlers, maybe a weekly family meeting isn't happening. Maybe they're not voicing their opinions. Okay. But if you have kids that can share with you how they feel, let's have a family meeting. Take that intentional time, schedule it into the calendar, talk about what went well the week before, talk about what maybe could be changed, talk about the upcoming schedule for the week ahead. This is the time where everybody gets a chance to talk. So, this is that active listening, respect, because there's going to be some difference of opinions, and you have this intentional time where everybody gets a chance to talk. Number two, this is a fun one. So, this is a fun family therapy activity that I like to use when working with families is see how attuned you can get to your child. So this is two people, okay? We've got parent and child, and then you can interchange other people out. If you're like me, you've got a big family, so this will take a little bit of time, but you try to mirror each other's movements and facial expressions, okay? So we're not talking, but we're just really trying to move with each other. So we're going to stand, facing one another. And let's say they've got their hand like this, and then I'm going to mirror it. And as they move, I'm going to try to follow along as close as I can. Okay. Kids love this one because they love to try to trick you. So it's just another fun bonding activity. You're going to get attuned to what are they going to do next? Where are they at? You really have to watch them. Number three, another one of my favorites, add a family tradition. Do you have something that you do? And maybe that's that family meeting. Maybe you're going to do a family meeting and take a walk. Maybe you're going to do a family meeting and have a special treat. Okay, so add something in that is something that can happen every week. So let's not go above and beyond. We're not doing like a water park trip every Friday, at least not in my house. But what we do is a weekly movie night. And in our home, we've been doing a weekly movie night for at least 3 years now, and we don't miss. Okay. So this is a time to set aside, again, put aside the distractions, do something together, and you can talk about things that are going on. Maybe this is a time where you get a chance to play a game and talk about some problems or struggles that you have. Maybe this is the time to just watch a movie and sit together and bond and cuddle and have a good memory in place of some things that aren't going so well. Okay. So let's get back to number one. Let's make a family meeting. Put that on the calendar. Let everybody have a voice in your house. Okay. The kids are insightful. They might share with something that would be a great problem solver for whatever is going on in your home. Number two, do some mirroring. Have that be the icebreaker at your first family meeting. See if you guys can mirror each other and if you can really follow suit to any emotions or facial expressions. And then three, let's add in a family tradition. Maybe it's a once a month activity to start. Maybe your schedule is just too busy to think about adding in another weekly activity. But the goal would be for something to happen every week. So the kids can look forward to it. They know this is the time where you're all together and there's not going to be those distractions to take parents' attention away from them. Okay. So I love to be able to share these things through my passion is working with families. Like I said, I do a lot of in-person work, but I also am able to do assessments and coaching sessions virtually. So if you're looking for more guidance, grab a free consult with me. Let's talk about what's going on. Maybe it's a quick little question that you have in regards to this video. You can throw it into the comments here or go right to our website, which is portagefamilyhealing.com, and grab a consult with me. And I'm Jessica Griffioen. Thank you for taking the time to join with me this evening.